Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today for Treehouse Interactive's webinar. My name is Megan Ruskowski. I'm a marketing manager here at Treehouse Interactive. We're going to continue the Channel Marketers Toolbox webinar series today with Armando Valim. He's the Global Partner Program and Channel Manager with National Instruments. And today's webinar, From Homegrown to Home Run, Leveraging Partners to Generate the Next 1 Billion. I'm going to go start things off quickly. Familiar with, such as Rackspace, SGI, Quantum, and of course, National Instruments, who is joining us today. We're a Salesforce CRM partner and member of the App Exchange. We're an Oracle Gold partner, as well as a Microsoft Dynamics CRM partner. Now, just to give you a little background on our webinar philosophy, we really strive to bring you real content that you can go ahead and get back to your desk as a channel marketer and put into action. We bring you real-world examples whenever possible, and we're going to go ahead and share one with you today, obviously with National Instruments, as they kind of give us a behind-the-scenes look at their very sophisticated partner program. Next, I'm going to introduce you to Eric Flynn. Eric has been CEO of Treehouse Interactive for over 12 years. He's got years of experience in sales and executive marketing positions at companies like Fujitsu, iOmega, and Quantum. He's largely responsible for the success that Treehouse has seen, growing our PRM business alone over 75% in the last year, with over 100,000 partners supported on our network. With that, Eric, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Great. Well, my job's easy today. I get to introduce our speaker. And we are so fortunate to have him and some of his team, Catherine, on with us today. Armando Valim is definitely a unique individual. It's rare to know someone who is both an impressive pedigree, but also gets results. Met a lot of people in my career who had great initials after their names and never accomplished anything. Armando is really one of those people who does both. And I think when you see some of the results he's going to share today in terms of increased leads for his partners, increased revenue growth for NI, reduction in costs that were achieved, reduction in manual effort that was achieved, and how they implemented their PRM, I think all of you listening today will feel the same. Armando has 14 years at NI. He's got both a Master's of Science in Engineering and an MBA from BYU. And I just want to thank you in advance, Armando, for being here. And we're looking forward to hearing how you are using PRM to grow NI to the next $1 billion in revenue.
Well, thank you, Eric, for such a generous welcome. I think we need to switch slide sets here. That's great. So, as Eric said, we're really excited to be here today. It has been great working with you, Eric, and Treehouse and your team for the last several years. And I'll just do a couple minutes introduction on National Instruments for the people that are on the line. Since 1976, National Instruments has helped engineers and scientists across the world. In 2013, we sold products to over 35,000 companies, and our overall revenue was $1.17 billion. We are a global company. We have offices in over 50 countries, and no single industry comprises more than 15% of our revenue. So we're very diverse. The presentation today will focus on our partner channel and its importance on NI achieving the next billion. We brand our partner channel as the Alliance Partner Network. So the first question is, what is the Alliance Partner Network that we're talking about today? I'll describe that for a few minutes. Well, it's the Alliance Partner Network is 23 years old, and we have more than 800 partner companies. They are distributed throughout 1,000 offices in 62 countries. It's very diverse and very well distributed across the globe. Our partners offer system integration and consulting services. They also offer add-on products, both software and hardware, for the NI platform. And they also sell turnkey solutions based on NI products. I think the secret sauce of our partners' success are two things. One, our partners' deep industry expertise, and of course their footprint. And the other one is the extensive knowledge that they have on our products. And we do verify that using several levels of certifications. To give you guys an idea of the depth and breadth of the partner capability at National Instruments, there are over 1,000 case studies recently done by our partners on NI.com. That is a quarter of our partner case studies. And as you can imagine, our Alliance Partner Channel represents a large portion of National Instruments revenue. This is when things start getting a little rocky. While our program has been very successful, we started facing growing pains by the end of the second decade. Around 2010, we realized it was probably time to reevaluate the Alliance program as a whole. Let's look at this slide here. And this is framed from an NI perspective, from an internal perspective. Here are some of the problems that we're facing. Out-of-date technology, data integrity issues. We had a lack of internal resources on our systems. And this problem led us to really have to re-examine our overall strategy. Our in-house solutions were just not scalable for the next 5 or 10 years. So this is a little bit of where we were in 2010 and what made us have to think about the strategy a little bit more.
So Armando, you know, it might be helpful for some of the listeners to know how these problems manifested themselves in your day-to-day working with your partners or your colleagues. Do you have any examples?
Yeah, Eric, that's a very good question. Let me think. One example is like reporting. As all channel managers in the room have to report data to senior management. We actually have reporting all the way to our board of directors. And the data reported was, we had little confidence. It was incomplete. It really reflected poor on the program itself. Another issue that we had was the changes and updates on the tools were literally impossible. And you understand this one, Eric. What happened is the developers that did our original old PRM system, they left the company, so there was no documentation. So it was very, very hard to make any updates, any corrections. It put us in a really difficult spot. But that's a very good question, Eric.
Thanks.
So I would like to now go to the other side of the fence and discuss a little bit of the problem our partners faced, because they were with us throughout the evolution. Here are some of the some of the issues that our out-of-date systems cause in our partners. For example, lack of leads, inability for partners to differentiate, no support. You just can go to the list, and you can imagine our internal systems and lack of strategy were really impacting our partners on the real world. The bottom line is these problems were hindering the growth through the channel. And I think we really could not allow that to continue.
And Armando, you guys did an outstanding job outlining the problems your partners faced and that you at NI faced. Did any of these problems then manifest themselves for end users?
Yeah, I think that the reflection of what the partner is saying here is exactly what end users would say. It was very hard to find the right partner. It was very hard to understand what one partner did that other didn't. I think those are. I think we end up hindering the channel instead of enabling. So our tools at that point in the strategy were really an issue. So it's probably time to focus on strategy, as I hinted a second ago. So in 2010, we signed up to revamp the whole program. As you can imagine, this was a major effort, and we included stakeholders from all levels in the company, and also involved partners too. And the main, I think, perspective we had here is focus on long-term needs, because we could focus and fix a lot of the short-term and really miss the ball. So we put our eyes on 5 to 10 years and what we need to do to get there. So we work on things like policy and requirements, prioritizing the right behaviors internally and externally, eliminating ambiguity, increasing transparency, and just to mention a few of the things that we're working on. The good news is the new strategy from 2010 is really dictating the requirements and the systems that we're putting in place since then, which really help start with a strategy. If we look at this evolution in the timeline, just so it's easier to follow, I'll put 2010 here, and that was the year we did the strategy. Well, I'm not going to talk more about that, but I'll now put 2011, so you guys understand how was our progression. For example, in 2011, we focused on stakeholders' feedback and participation. We had to get internal and external alignment. We changed policies, we changed the levels, we changed the requirements, so we really had to get buy-in from both sides. Once we had the strategy and a lot of the policies in place, we started building the requirements for our new systems. And we did RFPs, requests for proposals, exploring and selecting the right vendors that we need for the future. 2012 was our big infrastructure year. We worked on several systems, including our PRM system, that's Partner Relationship Management. So you guys have an idea, the PRM selection took over 1 year. The PRM implementation, which was done in 2012, took just over 3 months, and it was done by Treehouse. So it started in mid-May, and it was ready for prime time in mid-July. In fact, it was just a couple weeks short from our annual partner conference, which we call Alliance Day. So we were able to introduce the new PRM system on Alliance Day in 2012. The partners started entering the data, they created their profiles, their identities. For the first year, because it was a lot of data entry, and we decided to start with a blank slate, an empty database. We actually ran redundant systems, so we would not affect end users. Then comes 2013. As you can imagine, we continue our PRM implementation. We had massive training both internally with our sales force, our sales managers, partner managers, and externally with our partners. By 2013, by mid-2013, we felt like we had critical mass, and we used our customer-facing conference. It's called NI Week. It's in August, to have our major customer lunch for our partner directory, and the PRM system was really, really well received. Talking about 2014, the focus for this year is to expand our go-to-market strategy, and the main activities are centered on revenue growth, which includes increased customer usage of the directory and increased lead generation to our partners, webinars, seminars, and case studies and things like that. Now, I'll do a little pause just in terms of full disclosure, and I know Treehouse and Eric are on the line, but I have to do this. PRM is our customer and partner-facing system, so you guys know. We decided to highlight the PRM today in the presentation because it's the most visible and valuable tool and system that we have. It was not the only system that we had to work and improve throughout the survey, so throughout this work since 2010. But again, it is the shine object, and it's the one that brings more value to the program.
And you know, one of the things I love about this slide is it shows people listening that, you know, technology is only a piece of this solution. There's lots of other things that go around it in terms of business process and problem identification and, you know, stakeholder, you know, rationalizing features with all stakeholders. And one of the things you guys did better than a lot of folks have done is getting management buy-in early on. And I know that in my experience working with customers, getting that management buy-in can be really difficult. And you know, is there something you can share that your team did that enabled you to get that management buy-in at the beginning?
I think you're right, Eric. I think it's we work on a billion-dollar company. It's impossible to have this level of change on such a large organization if you don't have a clear strategy and management buy-in. If I was to do a short 1 to 3, I think number one would be we accurately describe the problem. So by the end of 2010, 2011, I think most of the decision makers in the company understood where we were and felt we had to be in a different place. Then we worked with the same people and partners to improve the strategy and had a long-term vision, which helped us get a lot of trust on the organization. And the last one, at the time, was not very, it was hard to implement, was like reliably demonstrate the results, good or bad. So we did a couple of things that worked really well. We did a couple of things that didn't work. Turns out PRM was one of our home runs. But I think those are the 3 things that I think help this project. Describe clearly the problem, get buy-in, help these decision makers have input on their strategy, and be loyal to the results, good or bad.
Awesome. I think that'll be helpful. Thanks.
So, we are cooking a demo for you guys. So we're going to be demoing the system that we're talking about here. But before we dive in and demo the new system, let's take a quick look in our old PRM system. Our old PRM system had many challenges. It might not even look that bad, but you think about it, in 2000, this was state of art. It was probably best in class. But as the years passed, it kind of lost its effectiveness. And there's a list of things here that really show how in the end it was not the right tool. So we had to think to look for something else, and it was not providing value for our customers or our partners. So this is the part that I'll be introducing the demo. And there's a few things that I want you guys to keep in mind when you're watching the demo. First, our directive for our customers was very simple. Help customers find the right partner. Our value to the partners was like twofold. Give partners leads and provide them with the sales enabling materials that they need to close business with us. The first part is customers finding the partners. The second part is behind a firewall, because the sales enablement materials are not really customer facing. Well, with that being said, I would like to have Catherine Airy. She was a team player, strong decision maker on this process too. She is our Senior Marketing Communication Manager for National Instruments on the Alliance Partner Network. And I would like to have her walk us through and demonstrate the new PRM system for us today.
Okay, thanks, Armando. Now that we've shared the process of how we were able to acquire the tool and the requirements that we had to build out the directory, I'd like to show you what our Alliance Partner Directory actually looks like and how it works. So our partner directory can be found at ni.com/hi-to-partner. Okay. So when a customer comes to the Alliance Partner Directory, there are a number of different ways to search for the right partner. The first is by geography. So let's take a look here at Europe. So we just go to location and region, Europe. So you can see that out of our over 800 partners, we have 278 of those in Europe. So if you want to refine this further, you can click on the icon and choose by country. Let's take France, for instance. Now you can see that we've gone from 278 down to 26 partners. And I also want to point out here that the way the results are filtered, this view is by partner level. So it starts with Platinum, which is our highest level of partner, and then goes down. We only have, for instance, 17 Platinum partners. So they're going to show up at the top of any search result. And from there, we go to Gold, and we have about 35 Gold partners, and then Silver, and finally our kind of entry-level, partner-level alliance. And so you can also do by company name, and that sorts them alphabetically. And then I also want to show you, if you're interested in, say, a specific application area, we can take a look at, let's take test and measurement, for instance. And then if we want to take a look at industry, maybe I'm interested in the automotive industry. So from there, you can see that I've been able to go from 26 partners in France down to just 2. And so from here, I can reach out to those partners and see if they have the requirements I'm looking for the project that I want to engage them on. So now what I'm going to do is clear these results so that we can search worldwide again. So as you see the narrow by, you just can go to clear all. And then I'd like to point out some other search facets that our customers can search by. So these include, on the left-hand side, we have product expertise, which is both NI software and NI hardware. We have services offered, which includes things like system integration and hourly consulting. And then we have 5 specialties, and this is another program that our partners, once they're in the program, can apply to, and that is based on the revenue of kind of our biggest product lines. And so that's an additional application process, but we have only about 15 partners in each of those specialties, and so that's also something important that customers may be looking for. And then the final way, as far as our search facets go, that someone would find a partner would be by certification level. And certifications are really important in our industry, being in test and measurement and working with a lot of engineers and scientists. These are things that can help them ensure, and even if they're trying to convince their boss to hire a partner, then they're going to be looking for these qualifications to engage with them. So now I'd like to show you how you can search for a partner by keyword search. So maybe you've heard of a partner and you come to the directory and you want to search for them. So I'm going to search for Verna, which is one of our platinum partners located in Canada. So under the keyword search, you can see as I start typing in here, actually let me go back one. So as I type in A, it starts filtering by geographical region, for instance, country. You can kind of see Argentina down there at the bottom. And then as I continue typing, it starts continuing from the data in our directory to guess what I'm looking for. And so now I'm down to 2 partners. I'm looking for Verna. So here we go. This is what we call our Alliance Partner Profile page. And this is really where our partners are able to highlight their capabilities for our customers. So what we're looking at right now is the Overview tab. And this kind of does the partner's boilerplate, what they're all about, and the description. And then it highlights how you can reach them and their contact information. From here, let's take a look at location. As I mentioned, they're headquartered in Montreal, Canada, but they have 3 additional branch locations. So they have one in Japan, one in the US, and one in Mexico. And I wanted to point out that this was a functionality that we didn't have in our old directory. And so now, if you're searching geographically, you'll be able to have a Verna come up in all 4 of these geographical searches as well. And then the map shows a nice visual representation of that. So from there, I'm going to take a look at the services and skills expertise. And as you can see here, these are some of the search facets that we had on the left side, but it has the services they offer, the industry and application areas that they focus on, the hardware and software expertise that they have, and then they also have a specialty, which is RF and wireless. And then this is also the area where we have the certifications both NI and industry-wide. So the National Instrument certifications are the different software products that they're certified in. So for instance, in the overview description, I saw that they called out that they have more than 50 certified engineers at their company, which is quite an achievement. And so here they can actually highlight specifically where those engineers fall. And then the industry certifications are also important, and I just want to point out that those are some of the things that we require of our top partners. So again, maybe you're working with the government on a contract, these would be things that they would look for to engage with a partner. So then taking a look at products and solutions, this is really the area where our partners can shine, and they can show examples of content that they've created that really showcases their capabilities. So we have video demos where they can not just tell you what they can do, but they can show you how the product works and why you might be interested in working with them on that. We have case studies that highlight customer solutions. You can see they have one here. We have turnkey solutions, so you can really look at the data sheet and see you know, what the product specs are and all of the geeky engineering things that they're looking for. And then we also have complementary hardware and software products, such as the LabVIEW Tools Network, which they have a tool on there. Now for customer reviews are another way that our partners can build credibility. And so potential customers want to know what the expertise was like for the given partner and how it was to work with them. And so for instance, did they finish their project on time? Were they over or under budget? If you do online shopping like me, I'm sure you can relate to reading Amazon customer reviews for sellers to ensure that your package will arrive on time and in one piece. So this is something that I think Verna can continue to build upon, but that our customers are interested in. And then the last feature that I wanted to point out on the partner profile page is the ability to share partner leads with our partners through the Have the Partner Contact Me form. So that's up here, and it's visible on each one of the 5 tabs. And so when a customer fills out this form, an email is automatically generated to the partner and their National Instrument sales sponsor for follow-up. And based on the feedback that we've received from our partners thus far, this was another welcomed addition to the new directory. So now that I've highlighted the partner directory, I'd like to walk you through the partner portal, which is kind of our back-end system. Okay, so the portal requires a login and enables us to share exclusive and confidential marketing and sales enablement resources with our partners. What you are seeing now is the partner portal homepage. Here you can kind of see the what's new and more highlight section, and that's where we highlight the top 3 things that we would like partners to do when they come to the partner portal. So for instance, we're highlighting our upcoming Alliance Day session schedule in August, which has all of our titles and abstracts of our sessions. And again, that's kind of the #1 reason our partners come, is to get the technical training that they'd like, so that's really important to them. And we also have a reminder to register for Alliance Day and NI Week, and then to order co-marketing branded materials as well that they can use during NI Week. So the top tabs here, we have membership information, which outlines things that we choose not to share with our customers publicly. So this would be revenue goals and things like that that we choose to keep exclusive and not on ni.com. We have marketing and sales enablement materials. So some of the marketing resources included are things like how to write a case study. We have press release templates, social media how-tos such as building out a LinkedIn page, doing Twitter updates and all of those things. And then kind of sales materials that we like to highlight include things like product roadmaps, upcoming, NI sales summits that we're inviting the partners to, and things like that. The training and certification tab highlights, exclusive training opportunities, free online training, how to find a certification exam being proctored in your area. As I mentioned earlier, that's something that our partners participate in quite a bit. And then the final tab is news and events, and that's where we archive our monthly newsletters, and then we also promote exclusive partner events there. And so now I'm going to point out the shortcut section, and under that, the first folder, you can see Update Company Profile. And so from here, this screenshot shows where our partners self-manage their partner profile page. And again, this was on our must-have list when we were working through the requirements of what this would look like. It's definitely unreasonable to think that resources on our team can manage more than 800 profiles on a daily basis. And so we really wanted something where the partners could self-manage their information. So here the partner logs in and they can update their company information. Under location, they can add a branch. Under services and skills, they can highlight new services and skills if they have a new certification to highlight, a new industry certification, that type of thing. And then under products and solutions, they can even switch out featured video demos and case studies based on, maybe upcoming product launches that they have or pieces of content that have been performing good or bad. They can adjust those. And then since this is a self-managed process, we have checks and balances set up to ensure that the partner information is accurately input. So now this is on the back-end side. Let's take, for instance, product expertise. Partners must assign percentages to the products that they specialize in. You can see under the NI software products, it says, fill out the NI software products where your company focuses the majority of its business. The sum must add up to 100%, and then anything under 15% will not be acknowledged. And so this allows us to ensure that the partners with the highest percentage of expertise show up at the top of the search results.
Hey, Catherine, I know you guys spent a lot of time on this algorithm and tweaking it to get it just right. What were some of the impacts to both the partners and the end users when you made this change?
Sure, Eric, that's a good question. So this process has incentivized our partners to differentiate by selecting only the applications, industries, and product lines that they truly have expertise in. And then in turn, it's created a more user-friendly experience for the customer, as it's easier to find, a short and manageable list of partners that meet their criteria, rather than, for instance, having a partner that chooses instead of 15 to 20% of their time, in these areas, say they say 3%, and then they're showing up in 33 different product searches. That really doesn't help the partner or the customer. So that was important for us to limit those.
Great. I think that's helpful for people to understand. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now that we've shown kind of how to find a partner with the Alliance Partner Directory, and then how to self-manage the partner profile page through the partner portal, Armando is going to share some metrics we've seen since launching the directory.
Thank you, Catherine. Awesome job. We only have 2 more slides here for the people that are counting the time. This is the most exciting part of the presentation. For the people that know me, I'm very excitable. We were able to get 91% growth in direct revenue from our partners since 2010. And you can see the bars there. They are actually what happened. In 2014, it's not any different. So partners have been growing faster than the overall company. And for anyone on the line, I think they would agree, this was an amazing result. In 2013 was in 2012 and 2013, when we launched the directory, really helped us achieve some of these results. I think another number that we have is we were able to triple the leads to partners. And we just calculated that we're actually on track to multiply that by 3 in 2014. So we triple it in 2013, but it seems like we're on track to multiply that number by 5 by 2014. So as you know, this is the #1 request from our partners, leads, and we're really working hard to deliver that. Another impressive result from the directory is we're only on the 2nd year of its existence, and we have over 250,000 unique page views. We'll have that by the end of this year. And this really attests to the value that directory is bringing to our partners and our customers. Another impressive stat is 100% of our profiles are complete and live on our directory. In fact, that's how today we recognize a company being an alliance partner. They have to have a complete live directory on our map. For the ones that saw the presentation from the beginning, this is something in 2010 that we could not even dream of. So this is just impressive to get the whole world, all the countries, all the languages, all the partners to align on this single goal. And I don't think we would be able to do that without the PRM. So we made great progress. I think we still can do better. The good news is that we have the tools, the infrastructure in place to hit a few more home runs. Let's read some of the feedback from some of the stakeholders. I'll start with Rob. Increasing the overall awareness and understanding the value of alliance partners and their differentiated skills is essential for our customer overall success. The new Alliance Partner Directory is proving to be invaluable tool, not only for customers, but to our sales force. Since its inception, we've seen dramatic increases in the Alliance Partner engagements with customers, and ultimately, more business for both NI and our value partners. And Rob is our America's Partner Sales Manager, so it's a very recent quote from him. Let's pick a partner quote. NI has a renewed focus on its alliance program. Other test and management companies, our competitors, seem to be doing the opposite. This comes from a president of a 20-year-old partner company And he said that last year. So it's very rewarding to see our partners not only seeing what we're doing, but recognizing as for us going above and beyond the competition. The final quote here is from Dr. James Truchard. He is the president and CEO for National Instruments. That's a quote from last year. And he said, a nice goal is to focus on developing insanely great products, while our alliance partners help our customers to create solutions to integrating systems, consulting, and extending our ecosystem. I think this last quote shows a National Instruments commitment to our partners and highlights the impact that partners are having in our business. They're really making a difference to our company. And we believe they are going to be one of our secret weapons on NI doubling to $2 billion, so our next $1 billion. At this time, I'd like to thank everybody for listening on the call. I hope you found today's presentation somewhat helpful and informative. I'll pass the presentation now to Eric for the final remarks.
Thanks, Armando. And again, thank you so much for sharing your story today. Just in terms of summary for all of us listening, if you look at some of the problems NI was facing, we're talking about helping customers find the right partner, incomplete and inaccurate data. They wanted to add value to an existing, highly regarded, successful program. Wanted to eliminate some manual data entry, wanted to upgrade out-of-date technology, get on top of an upgrade path with a tool they could use for the long term. And in order to do that, they didn't just go out and get technology. They went out and got buy-in from all the key stakeholders and, most importantly, management up front. Then they put together their vision, and then they went out to look out for a vendor who could provide that to them. And by following that path, they achieved incredible results. I promised great results at the beginning, and I think anyone listening will agree. You're tripling number of leads to partners. You got 91% increase in revenue over a couple years. I mean, that's just amazing. I think most people listening in would be extremely happy with that on their performance reviews next year. And Armando's team, the whole team at NI, their partners. I mean, they really need to be congratulated for making that happen. That's just unbelievable success. And we're happy to play a very small role in it. But without what they did, it wouldn't have happened. Just a reminder, we're going to send out a recording of this webinar. This is our question and answer time. If you have a question, there's a chat functionality in the GoToMeeting interface. All you have to do is enter a question, and we will see it, and Megan will talk us through the questions.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, first I'm just going to read a comment. We'll get to a couple of questions. One of them was, Armando, you mentioned the biggest challenge partners faced was connecting customer business issues with partner solution sets. And this attendee just says that NI Partner Program is clearly addressing this issue, and infrastructure is in a place to address this gap, which we couldn't agree with more. Another question that came in is, if we are not an NI partner and do not have extensive engineering experience with your products and services, how can we get involved and add value to the process? Where should we start, please?
It seems like we convinced people that PRM is important and also to join the Alliance Partner Program.
Yeah.
I think that beautifully, the first link on the slide is ni.com/alliance. And we didn't talk about that, but that's one of the areas we improved. It's divided by 3. The first part is for new partners. Become a partner. There's all the information, requirements, and steps you have to to do that, including an apply link that would jump you right into the PRM system. On that site, we also have the second part is for our customers, find a partner, know what the program is, what partners do, and the third is for our loved expert partners to come back and log into the system. But everything is on ni.com/alliance.
Great. I think we have time for a couple more. The next question is, how did you achieve 100% profile completion? What was your process for getting the partners to participate?
Again, first, it was a team effort. I have to say this, there's no way it was Armando or even Catherine. So you guys know, even in our room, we have several people on our side that actively work on that. And we have that also distributed throughout the globe. This week, this week we just completed 21 partner applications from China. So without the China branch help, we could not be where we are. Having said that, I think we did a couple things to guarantee. First, we started with a blank slate, and you probably cannot do that too many times. The second one, we established an annual fee and an annual renewal process that has to be followed by both a sponsor of the partner and the partner annually. It involves them buying the fee, which they get some value out of that, but you kind of establish a clean list of partners. So bottom line is, if you want to be a partner on a program, we require you to pay the fee and follow some of the basic instructions. But I think we didn't lose. It might sound harsh that we did something like that for other people on the line, but the feedback is we didn't lose any partner doing that, and the existing partners really like that we increased the bar, so the people that were in the fence are not even participating in this conversation anymore. Catherine, do you want to say something about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it was just a tough decision whether to migrate the old data to maybe try to appease the partners a little more and ask them to do less work. But I think in the end, we definitely made the right decision and just asked them to start from scratch. And then, the trade-off was if they didn't input this new information, then they wouldn't be visible online in the partner directory. And naturally, that is one of the biggest mechanisms that we have for sharing and generating leads for our partners. So it didn't take them long to be willing to put in the time to do that.
And so I would, if I was summarizing, boy, that is a big deal. I think there's a motivation and a benefit to the partner by having a complete profile. They get exposure on that directory into that, 250,000 plus page views. They get included. If they don't have a complete profile, they don't. And then the second piece is annually they have to re-look at their profile, update it in order to stay in the directory. Is that an accurate characterization?
Yeah, as you know, you're right, Eric. Yeah, you're right. And again, some of those decisions were hard. Even our process, I don't think it was an easy road. But in the end, because we had 5 years to 10 years, and a lot of our partners really saw the value on the PRM and what we're trying to do for them, I think it was a win-win situation for both.
Great. So, Megan, it looks like we're about at time.
Yep, we are. So I'd like to go ahead and thank you, Armando and Catherine, for the wonderful webinar. I think you shared a lot of really great content. It was wonderful to see kind of behind-the-scenes look at your tool and how you've, improved your program. I just want to thank all the attendees for coming and just reiterate Eric's point that we did record this session. We will follow up with you in email next week and send you a link to download the archive to watch it again or just kind of re-listen to some things you may have missed. The next webinar in our series will be July 10th. Serious Decisions is actually going to kick off a two-part series on the partner experience. The first being how partner marketing enablement and PRM work together. So check back for that, and I guess just have a great day. Thanks everybody.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.